Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the Season 1 finale of Beyond the Adventure. Today's episode is Cold Furnace and Frozen Falls. Let's get started. So for the opening shot here, I want to show you guys the partially frozen stream that was leading up to the frozen waterfall, but more on that in a minute. Right now, I'm just doing the opening, the intro to the end of Season 5 of Adventure Wednesday. Now, originally going up here, I had planned to make 4 full episodes out of this. I wanted to do the episode at the Ice Castles for the first one. I wanted to do the furnace as the second episode. I wanted to do the old man's face on the mountain for the third episode, and finally I wanted to finish it off with the fourth one being a frozen waterfall adventure, kind of in coordination with the opening episode of this season where we went on a search finding waterfalls in the area. Anyways, right here, right now, we are at the oldest surviving stone iron furnace in the state of New Hampshire. Now, like I said, I originally planned to make a full episode out of this, but there really wasn't that many places that you could go to. There weren't really that many places that you could go to. We were also right next to an airstrip, so I couldn't bring the drone up. They have this weird law in the state. Anything over 200 feet on private property, you can fly the drone, from what I understand. Anyways, this was our second stop right here that I wanted to make a full episode out of, but unfortunately, the old man's face on the mountain broke off because ice got in there and cracked and destroyed the mountain, and this was probably about 10 or so years ago. Now, I just wanted to go up there and just show you guys what was still left, or what was left of where the old man's face used to be, but that parking area was not cleared out, so there really wasn't any place for us to park because it's kind of next to a highway, or there really wasn't anywhere that we could walk in or I could launch the drone up. Anyways, right here, this was the final spot that I wanted to do the final episode for this season. It was called Georgiana Falls. I called it Georgina Falls, I believe, but it's actually Georgiana Falls is the name of the waterfall. Now, going up here, there weren't really a lot of signs pointing to where to go to get to the waterfall. Once you got there, there were a few signs pointing you in the right direction. Now, when we got there, I ended up parking in this kind of little, plowed section, which was between 3 different trails at the end of a pretty much dead-end road because wheeled vehicles weren't allowed to go any further past that point. It was only vehicles with tracks or snowmobiles. But anyways, we parked there. There was this whole group of snowmobilers out. I don't know if it was like a class or if it was a club or something like that. Talked to a couple of them, found out where the waterfall was, and just decided to head up there. Now, it really wasn't that far of a walk. I'd say it was probably a good 25 or so minutes to get there from where the parking area was that we parked right next to the highway to get to the waterfall, and then another, 25, 30-ish minutes to get all the way back. And it looked as though somebody up there had gone up there with a snowmobile at one point in time, so it kind of helped to have the snow packed down in the area. You can kind of see the treads or the depression in the snow where the tracks of the snowmobile went by, so that helped when we were hiking up there. It was very, very slippery. It was kind of cold too, but making our way up here, there's a bunch of just kind of like rapids or boulders that are separating it. There aren't too many large waterfalls up until you get to the actual main waterfall, which you will see in about 15 or so seconds here. We're almost up there now, and there's also going to be a clip of this, what we thought was this massive cave. Well, not really super massive, but it looked to be a decent sized cave in the woods, and when we got up there, it just turned out to be a couple of large rocks leaning on top of each other. So it wasn't a bear's den or anything. That's the cave that I'm talking about right there. But from a distance, it looked like a pretty good sized cave. It looked like it actually went into, the hillside there. Anyways, we have arrived at the waterfall right now, just doing a pan over from the stream up to where the falls were. Now, as impressive as the other falls were, the Wakahana Falls that I went to, I thought this one was really cool in the fact that it didn't have that much of a vertical drop as much as it had a horizontal drop, in the sense that it went on for quite some bit. It wasn't so steep and just dropped off once. It stretched back a little bit further. But like I said, this was a very nice spot, very short walk. I'm sure it's, probably 10 minutes to get up there during the summer months, when the ground is not covered by snow and ice. But once again, a lot of very low-lying trees, a lot of just pine trees with very fluffy branches that when they blow in the wind, it's kind of tight to navigate the drone in there. Other things that I noticed on this spot here were you'll see in 1 second there was this cool thing, like they must have had a lot of freezing rain or something right there. And the rain just came down and just froze, and it almost made like a dam in the river out of ice. There's another one you'll see right there. That was pretty freaking cool. I have never seen anything like that. Like, I've seen icicles coming off of logs dripping into the river, but I've never seen a whole row of them forming, you know, a wall or a dam. But anyways, now we are walking back to the truck. Very, very short hike. You can kind of hear the highway, not when you're more so near the waterfalls, but as you're walking in the woods, you can hear the highway. You're not really too far from it at any point in time. One thing that I thought was cool is these two underpasses that the trail actually consisted of that bring you up to the waterfall. Doing the outro right now. That is going to do it for today's episode. That is going to do it for Season 1 of Beyond the Adventure. I will see you guys when Season 6 of Adventure Wednesday returns in a month or so from now. Until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see everybody on Friday for Free For All Friday. Peace.